Welcome to this grandiloquent episode of Talking Lamar. Today, I'm talking about taking my kids on vacation to London and missing the plane. Let's get to it.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about.
What are you talking about?
I am talking to you.
That's just what I was talking about.
It's Talking Lamar.
Well, Christmas, around 2001, I think it was, I gave my kids a trip for Christmas. And I've been doing that for the last couple of years, going to different places or whatever. And this Christmas, the kids were at their mother's house for Christmas morning and my house at lunchtime in the afternoon. So when they came over, I gave them their presents in sections. I had them open the first present right before we had lunch, and each of them received a pair of binoculars. And I told them that they would want to use those with the rest of the presents. And so it was after lunch, we sat down and I gave them their next present, and it was plane tickets for the four of us. But the destination was not listed. They just knew that wherever we were going, it was going to be on a plane. So we did some other things for a little bit over an hour, and they're going nuts. I mean, they're just absolutely going nuts, and I'm dragging it. I'm dragging it for as long as I can. And so when I finally gave them the third present, it was the big one. It was tickets to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers in Manchester, England. And the flight was to London, where we would spend the first part of the week. Then we would fly to Manchester, see the Peppers, spend the night, and then fly back to London to finish sightseeing for the rest of the week. Now, I have twin boys and a daughter. They're all big Chili Pepper fans. So years before this, when the boys turned 14, the Chili Peppers had a concert in Greenville, South Carolina, which is about 30 miles from me. So for their birthday, I got tickets for them and a couple of friends, and I rented a limo to pick them up, take them to the concert, and wait outside while the concert was going on and then bring them back. And they had no idea what that birthday present was until the limo pulled up right before the thing. So I had kept waiting for the Peppers to announce the American tour because I was going to try to hook something up for that, but they just never did. They were to Japan, they were everywhere else, they were in Europe and whatever. So I decided I had no choice. So I decided to make it a Christmas present and a trip. And so as soon as I made all the arrangements, everything was done. The tickets were bought. The hotel was booked. The tickets for the concert, everything's bought. And all of a sudden, they announced they were coming to Charlotte. They were coming to Charlotte right after they left Europe. And I'm like, oh my God, but nothing I could do, just my luck. So when it came time, we packed and we went to the airport and we flew to London. It was a great flight. It was very cool. We went to see the Tower of London, which is an amazing place. I really did not comprehend what that place was. I mean, it's the big, huge castle. It was founded in like 1066. It was built in 1078. The crown jewels are there. Sheri, have you ever been over there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very lucky to have been able to travel that. Yeah.
That was one of the greatest days. That all that stuff there. Think of that much history. A place that has been there that long. I told the kids, I said, this is why the rest of the world thinks America's a bunch of cowboys, because we have no age. You know, we're a couple of hundred years
old. We're babies.
We're babies. We're nothing. We are nothing. I mean, this was just, and we went to the British Museum in London, which was also amazing, like the Rosetta Stone. If the Egypt wants to know where their mummies are, they're there. Okay. They're there. The English went to Egypt and they dug them all up and they brought them back, so if you want to see mummies and you're from Egypt, catch you a plane and go to London, because that's where they are. They're all in that museum with all kinds of cool stuff. So we really enjoyed that. So, we're doing all the touristy things. And just like any tourist, and Clay, one of my sons, Clay, he is a huge Beatles fan. So we went to Abbey Road and we got somebody to take the picture of us all lined up. And I think he was barefooted. We did the whole album cover, just like all tourists do. You go there, it's very easy to get your picture taken because there's a bunch of people waiting for you to take their picture. So you just swap it off, and we did all of that. So we saw some stuff for a few days. Then it was time to go to Manchester and see the Peppers. So we got up early. We packed for the overnight trip. We headed to the underground. We boarded the train. We took off. We're rolling, man. We're headed. We're great. We're going to catch the plane, fly into the airport, and everything's good to go. We had traveled about 6 or 7 stops, and I'm just thinking, and all of a sudden, I'm like touching myself to see, well, I've got the tickets. I got this, I got that. And I go, uh-oh, I left the tickets for the concert in the hotel. I got to go back. I got to go get them.
Lamar,
because yeah. I left all the tickets. So I'm like, oh my God. So I said, all right. We get off at the next stop. So I figured it would be faster for me to go back alone and, without dragging all them with me. So I put them on a bench and I say, sit right here. Do not move. Don't go anywhere till I come back. And so I get on the train going the other way, headed back to the hotel. And once I'm headed back, I get to thinking about it, and I'm thinking, is leaving my kids in the London Underground on a bench,
the best
is that dumber than forgetting the tickets? I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So I get back to the stop and I'm running, man. I'm running back to the hotel. I'm huffing and puffing. I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack. I almost get run over twice because they're driving on the left. And so if you're used to cars driving on the right, when you go to cross the street, you're looking the wrong way because they're driving on the left. You're not looking. They're going to hit you. And I almost got run over a couple of times. But I get all the way back. I grab the tickets. I get back on the train. I'm headed back, and I'm watching for the stops. And, man, I'm praying that my kids are still there. Because if my kids are not there, this is going to be a terrible phone call to my ex-wife. She is not going to be happy at all. I mean, this was not going to be good. The door opens. There they sit. I said, get on. Let's go. So we jump on the train. So we take off. And so we're sitting there and I'm watching the clock. So, because we've got to make the airport to fly to Manchester. And so we get to the airport, we jump out, we run to the gate. They wouldn't let us on the plane because this was not long after 9/11. And the English airports, and I guess most airports all over the world, would not let you on a plane unless you checked in at least 30 minutes before the flight. They didn't want somebody, it was just a security situation. We got there 15 minutes before the flight took off, and that was it. Tickets are non-refundable. They're no good. They're just pieces of paper at this point. So to get to Manchester, I had to go to the counter. I had to buy 4 more tickets for the next flight. Now, if you're looking for a bargain on tickets, walking up to the counter and asking for a ticket for the next flight, there's no bargains there, buddy. You're paying full retail. This is how airports make their money from business people that have to catch a plane. So here we are. So she totals up what these 4 tickets are going to cost, which means I've already bought 4 tickets. That money is gone. As Bob says, that used to be money. It is no longer money. It's gone. Okay. And so my kids are standing there. They're not saying a word. Their heads are hanging down because they know that I'm fixing to lose it. I'm 30 seconds away from having a meltdown and losing my mind. So I took a really deep breath and I thought about it. I'm thinking, okay, there's 2 ways to go here. Number 1, just flip the hell out. Flip the hell out and go running through the airport until you get arrested, okay? Whatever. I mean, just because this is nuts. Or suck it up, pull out the American Express, buy 4 more tickets. Won't have to pay for that for another month or so. Save the trip because we've done all this. We don't want to ruin this thing. And after that, go to the bar and have a cocktail or three until time for the flight. So I flopped down the Amex. We get the tickets. We flew to Manchester. We had a really cool hotel room, really nice. And we had a great time. The concert was awesome. The kids are just loving it. It's all, really good. And we flew back and we finished out everything in London, went to see all the other stuff, the Tower Bridge. And, we watched the changing of the guards. I mean, we had a great, great, great time. But gosh, man, when I got back home, then I let it settle in how much money I had just lost by forgetting those tickets. I mean, it was crazy. But here's the way we look at it, and I think we're all the same on this. Just like all the disasters that happens to everybody on this show, we just have to say, well, there's a break and a great story to tell. But it was not fun at that time, I'm telling you. Mm-mm-mm.
Why is it that it's so hard to have an experience like the one you set up for your kids that doesn't also have an experience like the one you just described? Why do they go together so much?
I don't know. And it happens.
They do.
It really does. Because the more, I had planned out every possible detail. I mean, it was everything. And the whole, it was great. And I guess we went it was about a month. We went about a month after Christmas. So that gives you a time to be excited about. The kids are just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. And it was great. It really was great. But that sickening feeling when I realized I did not have those tickets.
Well, you had a couple of sickening moments. There's I don't have the tickets, and should I have left my children in another country in a subway station on a bench? Should I have done that?
Yeah.
Because I, you know what, Max or Lamar, I've met their mother, and she's a sweet woman. She's a gentle woman. She was going to wear your head like a hat if anything happened to those kids.
Yeah, it didn't really, as soon as I made it past the first stop on the way back, and I thought, oh, wait a minute, am I going to get to the right stop? Is everything going to be like it's supposed to be? I mean, oh my gosh, it was crazy. But now listen, that's not the only time I have forgotten the tickets. I have forgotten the tickets a couple of more times. I'm going to pause right here and shut this door.
That's Darby barking, by the way.
The poodle. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now I'm back. If Darby will hush. Carla, my very first Alabama game, because Carla is a fanatic Alabama fan, and she's born and raised in Alabama.
Football.
Yeah, football. And so I talked to her mom, and I said, her birthday was coming up, and I talked to her mom. I said, can I get you, anybody down there can get me tickets? And she goes, oh yeah, I know somebody that can get you tickets. So she set it up. So I got tickets and she sent them to me. And so I've got tickets. And so we pack up and I tell Carla we're going on a trip. I don't tell her where we're going. I just tell her we're going on a trip. And so we pack up and we take off. And I've got a CD with the Alabama theme song and everything. I've got that in the car. I've got all kinds of decorations in the trunk that she knows absolutely nothing about. And so we're going up 85. And so she thinks we're going to a Clemson game. So as we get to the Clemson thing, she goes, I know what we're doing. We're going to a football game. We're going to a Clemson game. And we pass the Clemson exit. And so there's about 3 or 4 exits you can take off to get to Clemson. So we passed the first one, and she's like, are you messing with me? So we go. And so after we pass, now we're past Clemson. We're still going. And so we get to this side of Atlanta, and there's a place that we stop and eat sometimes. So we stop to get Cracker Barrel. We stopped at the Cracker Barrel. So we go in, and we're eating at the Cracker Barrel. And so I get up from the table, and I said, look, I'll go get the car. You pay the check. And I give her the card to pay the check. So I go around. I get the car. I put the flags out on the car. I've got all the Alabama stuff on. I pull around and I'm playing the theme song and she's like going nuts because we're going to the Alabama game. So this is all great, man. Yeah. So I get a hotel room about 30 miles outside of Tuscaloosa, and I'm supposed to meet her brother, Looney. He's going to pick us up, and him and his girlfriend, and we're going to ride to the game with him. And so, sure enough, we get there and get checked into the hotel, and Looney comes up. We hop in his truck. We head to Alabama. So we're in Tuscaloosa. We're going down the street. The people are just out celebrating. Carla's just so excited, so excited. And I'm thinking, man, this is great. I've pulled this off. She's been surprised. This is wonderful. This is fantastic. And then I go, wait a minute. The tickets for the football game are over the sun visor in the car back at the hotel.
No.
We can't get in. Uh-oh.
No.
So I'm like, how can this happen to me again? Oh my gosh. So we get to the tailgate. We're all tailgating. There's a bunch of people out there. We're having this big, time. And so I go over and I tell Looney, I said, I left the tickets. I said, what do you think's the chances of getting some tickets? He said, well, I mean, you can get some, but you're going to have to scalp them. It's going to, you're going to have to pay for them. I said, okay, it's no problem. So we get ready to go, and I tell her what happened. She goes, oh, my God. I said, don't worry. We're good. We're good. We're just going to buy some more tickets. Not a problem. So we walk up, and so there's a lady that's running the ticket thing. Or not the ticket thing, but she's letting you in, whatever. Well, I knew where our tickets were. I knew what the exact seats were. And so I walk up to this lady, and I say, I'm fixing to tell you something, and you're going to find this hard to believe, but I promise you, I am telling you the truth. And she says, well, let me hear it. And I said, I have 2 tickets. And this is like, the reason she was here, it's like it's a special level, you have to have to get to, you had to go through this other stuff. I said, I've got 2 tickets. She said, well, where are they? I said, there's the problem. I said, they are 30 miles from here over the my car where the sun visor is. And I said, I don't have them. And she smiles. She goes, well, I don't know what we can do. I said, no, I'll tell you what we can do. I said, I know where the tickets are. I can tell you what row they are. I can tell you everything about them. And I said, me and you can walk up there and you're going to see there's nobody sitting there. I said, there's nobody sitting there. And I said, you can come check on me later in the game. We're going to be sitting there. Nobody's going to be sitting there because those are our seats. I said, if you don't let me in, those seats are going to be vacant. And I said, then I've got to go out here and buy 2 more tickets from somebody and pay an exorbitant price. She said, I've never heard a story like this in my life. I said, I get it. I said, I really do get it. I get it. And I said, sadly, this is not the first time this has happened to me. And I gave her the short version of the whole thing in London. And she goes, this story gets wilder by the minute. I said, but does this sound like a story somebody would make up? I said, this is so crazy. It's got to be true. And I said, I promise you. And I told her all about going to the Cracker Barrel and playing the theme song. And I said, this is my wife. I'm surprising her. And she goes, listen, if I let you in, will you stop telling me these stories and go sit in those 2 seats? I said, yes, ma'am, I will. And I said, if you give me your address, I'll send you a Christmas card. I promise you. I said, because you would be the greatest woman ever. She said, if I come check on them seats, you better. I said, please do. I pray you'll come see. She's just stop talking. Go. And she let us in. So we was able to get in. But man,
I can't believe that.
I am so proud of you for forcing that.
You were the greatest salesman in the world that you were able to do that. And it was the truth.
Was so
obviously, it was the truth.
It was the truth. Yeah, it was the truth.
But
her story like it. Yeah,
the fact that you were able to
I hit
pull
the right
that
woman.
off.
I hit the right woman. I did. I hit the right woman, and she was very kind. She was very.
You know
kind.
what though, Lamar? Had that been Bob, he would have been arrested that day.
That's exactly what I would have done.
Yeah.
Sherry, you're
Yeah.
exactly right.
He would have been arrested. And so we need to make sure that people don't think they can do as Lamar does. You're free to try,
No.
but
Try,
past
try,
performance is no guarantee of future results.
No, I hit the perfect lady because the first thing I said, "Can you help me?" And she says, "What you got, honey?" I'm like, "Okay, she's got that mother instinct. She's wanting to help somebody." So and so, and Carla's sitting there, and Carla's looking at me, and she's looking at that woman, going, shaking her head, going, "It's the truth. He's an idiot." I mean,
You know what? I think that's what sold it.
Oh,
That
no
is
doubt.
what sold it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And it
So,
it all ended well. You got into the game.
Yeah,
Carla ended up becoming your wife. Did they win that
Yeah.
day? Do you remember? I mean,
No,
Alabama
this
usually
is-
does. They didn't.
Yeah, no. This was the interim when right before Nick got there. This was before Nick got there. So
Pre-Nick
but-
Saban, Alabama. Yes.
yeah, but it was two great seats. It
Yes.
was two great seats, though. It was two great seats. So,
You know what works in your favor, Lamar, is you're such an honest person that I think people, once they poke it a little bit and kick the tires a little bit, they even the most cynical and suspicious person, and lots of us are, right? Lots of folks are real cynical and real suspicious.
Yeah.
Even that person is like, "She, this man telling the truth."
So yeah, it worked out. But now I tell you what, now I've learned my lesson. Before I walk out of this house, I make sure I got the tickets in my hand, and then I make sure I give them to Carla to put in her purse, because we know we're not going anywhere without that purse. As long as these tickets are in that purse. Because
Don't they have electronic tickets now and you just bring your phone?
Put them on your phone.
yeah, this is years ago. Yeah, that's right. This has been years ago. Now it's really simple now. Yeah, you can pretty much, because that's the other thing that's never going to leave you is your phone. That's the
Right.
greatest thing that's ever happened, is to be able to put the tickets on the phone. It's the same way with airplane tickets. It's so much easier now with the phone.
I'm really glad. I always use electronic tickets. Bob likes a paper ticket. He's like, I miss the days of a paper ticket. Really? Do you?
I don't.
Because that was just one more thing that I was always losing in my bag. I was going to say, Lamar, you are such a candidate for a MERS, messenger bag, a man bag of some kind. But since like many husbands and many boyfriends, since you have Carla's bag, like I carry Kevin's sunglasses and all of his crap for him. It's handy, isn't it? Having a woman,
Yeah, it is.
having a
It
woman
is.
to carry your crap for you. Yeah.
Yep, it is. Because listen, if I had the MERS, I would lose it. I would lose it. I mean,
Oh, what am I saying? Yeah, you'd be leaving your kids and your MERS in the subway in another country.
yeah. But those after that, that's the last time I have forgot tickets. Those two times has finally got me straightened out, or maybe Carla's got me straightened out. That might be it. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
But-
talk about go big or go home. Let's see. What should we lose? Oh, I know. Plane tickets in another country and Alabama tickets when you're trying to woo the biggest Alabama fan ever.
Yeah. That was
Any
fairly
fool can
early
lose
in
his
our
car
dating career.
keys. Yeah. Any fool can lose that crap. You go big, Lamar.
Yeah, that is true. So, but I live to fight another day.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Everybody that's listening, thank you so much. There's many things you could be listening to. The fact you listening to me, I appreciate it. I really do. Tell somebody about it so they can get this as much enjoyment as you have. Also, you need to check out the award-winning True Weird Stuff podcast. You need to get it right now because it's fixing to blow up. You don't want to be the only one that don't know what the greatest thing going is. It'll surprise you and it'll keep you educated. Now listen, there's more to come on Talking Lamar, so don't stop now because I hate a quitter. Join us for the next episode and let us know what you think. Let us know something, but maybe something else you want to hear about. We'll talk about it. You can go to the Bob and Sheri app, go down to the microphone in the bottom and just start talking. Or you can go old school and call 844-52-SHERI and leave us a message. Love to hear from you. Until then.